What's up? Got a QSP knife here. QSP. Better knife, better life. This is a Penguin Plus QS130XL C2. 20 CV, satin, stonewash handle, titanium. Alright. Well, it almost fell out the backside. Hey, come on, man. Yeah, not so much. So I have had a couple of these QSP Penguins, and I have purged them all. But the thought of an XL version in titanium and 20 CV kind of intrigued me. I mean, it's got decent weight. Let's see what's up. Yeah, this isn't like any Penguin I've had before. This is different. Titanium frame lock, back flipper, thumb flicker, and a Spidey flick. The Spidey flick's a little stiff, but I think it's stiff in the way that I think if I just work that slightly, it's just new. Blades centered. Whew, that Spidey flick is stiff. Yeah, it's taking all I got. But it's awful nice on that back flipper. Well, let's get all this out of the way. Yeah. I mean, I may be tempted to make the purchase here. Let's see. 20 CV steel. Beautiful belt sharpened satin finish. The titanium's got like a stonewash finish to it, I guess. Oh, that spring clip has a ton of tension on it. I'm digging it. Lanyard hole. Yeah. And I believe it's just a little bigger than a normal size Penguin. Very cool. I don't see any skeletonizing going on in there, which probably adds to the weight of this knife. Could have been skeletonized and been a lot lighter. I am not going to try that Spidey flick no more because, man, it was hurting me. I'm going to pay attention to where I'm at here and see how much tension's on this frame lock. Let's get inside here. Take a look. Captured pivot. Feels like I got a fair amount of Loctite going on in these threads. Yeah, there's some. Wasn't a monumental amount. TH on the scale hardware. Got this little protector. We should be good. There we go. Yeah, no skeletonizing inside whatsoever. Hefty stop pin. The bearings are greased. This is all greased right here. Let me take a look at where that's lining up. Yeah, there's not much there at all. So see where it's at right there? Let me show you where it's at when it's locked. Right there. I mean, so yeah, there's none for me to take off there. And these QSPs, look at, they lock down the barrel spacers. So you literally can put them in from one side because they're locked down. They're captured just like the pivot is. Yep. Let me check. Yeah, ceramic cage bearings. Cool. Beautiful 20 CV blade. Satin finish. The jimping's, I don't think it's necessarily, it's not like combat jimping. I've had a couple of these penguins, and like I get one, and then I have it for a while, and I go, yeah, and then I move it on. And this XL version intrigued me enough to try another one, because every time I've tried one, I try it, I go, yeah, I think I'm gonna try one of those. I think I want it, and then I try it and I go, yeah, this is the same as the other one. But eventually I come back around and I try one again, and same thing. But this one, I think the extra size, the titanium, the upgraded steel, the whole package here might have got me. Got its hook in me. And I've had a few higher end QSPs here recently over from Timber's Edge. And I've liked them. Liked every one of them. I think that they have elevated their game and are doing it correctly. Like, I see that sometimes where, you got kind of a budget knife manufacturer, and then they decide in one fell swoop, hey, we're going to put out high end expensive knives, but the knives kind of don't live up to the new price point. Like they have some budget, production methods, and they bring that into their high end knife, and it shows the fit and finish, just certain things. And I've been there, and I kind of go, yeah. I mean, they're a little shy. They should have went from $50 knives to $100 knives, not 50 to 150, or 250. They should have baby stepped it a little bit. That's not what I'm finding with these QSP knives. They have legit jumped into the arena. I'm going to put just a little bit on that detent ball track, like that. Just a dab. Dabber-do. Dommer-goo. There, we got it. T8 hardware again, you know. It's just good stuff, man. I mean, it makes no sense to do a higher end knife and then, I mean, what's the savings? A T6 to a T8, you know what I mean? It's so minimalistic that why wouldn't you just upgrade the whole knife? And they did here. T8 across the board. I think that there's a T8 on the metal insert. Yeah, 100% T8 across the board in this knife. Wonderful. Reversible pocket clip. I don't think I'm tight enough on that pivot. The blade's not centered. This should bring it in. Oh yeah. Yeah, perfect. No wiggle. Very hydraulic. Super snappy. Well, I'm going to try that Spidey flick. Let me, I'm going to do this one more time. Coming out of there. Because that's where it's getting me, is that initial... Better. Yeah, it's definitely better. And I think part of the thing is I got to make sure that I'm not locking myself out. Yep. Yeah. Nice. Well, I was about to ding it for that Spidey flick action. I was about to give it a little dingy, ringy dingy. But it's nice. Wonder if I can fail it. Nope, no chance. It's got a snappy detent. Let's talk about access to the lock bar. So it's lowered here, scalloped on the actual lock face, and so very intuitive to reach in and get that out of the way. Super hydraulic, thumb flick. It's locked up. I mean, tight as a drum. Look at the tolerances on the sides of the blade. I don't think I could fit a piece of paper in there. Let's look at it from the other side. Yeah, I mean, the tolerances on this are just wonderfully tight. Yeah. I mean, gosh, I don't know why I'm leaning here, but it's a A to a A minus, and I'm leaning towards an A. It's really nice. I'm going to give it the A minus because it is stiff on that Spidey flick. It's a little stiff. But I think it's got to do with this lock is very sensitive, and any pressure on that affects its ability to open smooth. And look, I find myself gravitating to it. Like, look at this finger. It's like right, it goes onto it. And so if I'm conscious and I keep it off, it runs pretty darn well. I mean, I'm going to give it A minus. Definitely A level action. It's wonderful. Let's talk about ergonomics. So not so confident, very confident. It's not much of a pokey knife. Now that's a needle of a tip, very sharp, but it's kind of below the center of the pivot, and so not so much a pokey knife, but the actual ergonomics of it are very confident toward, confident towards very confident. Yeah, locked in behind this finger guard. I mean, it's a very confident grip, no question about it. It does have this choke up spot if you want to slice. There's no real uh, choil here that would get in the way of slicing with this knife. So if you needed a knife that sliced, this thing would be right on point. The jimping, like I mentioned earlier, it's not combat jimping. I can press down as hard as I can and just kind of push past it. But it does afford a nice platform for the thumb. Yeah. Reverse grip, yeah, very nice. Very confident. Cap it with the thumb. And then, yeah, I can get this grip here, a reverse Pakal grip. And so, is this feasible with this piece? I think so. Yeah, I mean, that's enough of a tip that I think, especially when the natural kind of motion here is down and in, you know, definitely a tearing knife for sure. Let's check that pocket clip. I think it's going to be amazing. The amount of tension that I'm feeling on it is wonderful. Let me get rid of this while we do this test. I'll put it back. Oh yeah, completely disappeared. Deep carry. And the tension here, this is F5 tornado tension. Yeah, wow. That thing would survive a tornado. You find these pants in a field or hanging in a tree somewhere. If you see these shorts hanging in a tree after a tornado, you better go check, because if this knife's in the pocket, this knife is still there. Yeah. Even on standard jean size material, wonderful tension. I mean, they did that right. They really did. It's perfect. My back pocket, that clip matches my little buttons, my little rivets. Cool. I dig it, man. Very nice. I would expect that knife to be right where I left it if I went looking for it. Make sure we don't have any blade contact. Tips recessed. There's no blade contact through the scales. And the clip is amazing. The tip's good, and I can handle this knife any way I want, and I'm not going to catch that sharp part. Yeah, speaking of it, let me put this back. Just protect that scale, because that clip has so much tension on it. And I will say this, I think I see them adding this little protector on all their new knives. I think I see it on them all. It's nothing to do with this one particularly. I just think they add it now. How do we do on the sharpness? I can tell you already that I've encountered this recently with other QSP knives. It is one of the sharpest factory edges that I touch. Oh my gosh, this thing is so sharp. Like it's noiseless going through that paper. I can feel it. It is such a fine edge. I mean, sticky. Wow. They're killing these edges. They really are. I don't have one of those testers. All I can tell you is what my ears hear, my eyes see, my hands feel. And the combination of those things on these QSP edges, particularly this one, stunning sharp from the factory. Yep. All right. Well, let's put a price on this thing. I think I've covered everything else. How much are these? Yeah, so these are right now they're listing for around $176. Now, this one, if it makes it over there to Timber's Edge, if you're interested in it, go take a look over there. But if you use the DM10 code, brings this down little over 150 and some change. So you could save some coin on it. Yeah, pretty cool. I mean, as far as penguins go, it's the nicest one I've ever touched, and I think it has to do, the size of it. All four fingers get in this wonderful ergonomic handle, and the titanium, the fit and finish. I mean, just the tolerances on the knife, stunning. Yeah, it's a wonderful piece. And if I can keep my fingers like the one gripe I have is spidey flicking, and it's because I keep putting my fingers on this lock. If I keep my fingers off, it runs simply. Yeah, wonderful. Hey, I appreciate y'all watching. Pretty cool penguin.